Imagine boarding the largest and most luxurious ship ever built. A ship so advanced that many believed it was practically unsinkable. Thousands of excited passengers stepped aboard, expecting the journey of a lifetime. But just 4 days later, that same ship would disappear beneath the icy waters of the Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,500 people would lose their lives in one of history's most famous maritime disasters. More than a century has passed, yet the sinking of the Titanic continues to fascinate millions around the world. So, what really happened? Was it simply an unlucky accident? Or did a series of small mistakes turn a magnificent ship into a global tragedy? This is the true story of the Titanic. The birth of a giant. In the early 1900s, countries competed to build bigger, faster, and more luxurious ocean liners. The White Star Line wanted to dominate transatlantic travel. Instead of focusing only on speed, the company decided to create the most comfortable and elegant passenger ship ever built. Construction began in 1909 at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland. More than 15,000 workers spent over 2 years building the enormous vessel. When completed, Titanic measured nearly 269 meters, or 882 feet, in length. She contained grand staircases, luxurious dining rooms, swimming pools, libraries, electric elevators, and even a squash court. At the time, Titanic represented the very best of human engineering and innovation. Many newspapers proudly described her as practically unsinkable. That confidence would soon be tested. The maiden voyage. On April 10, 1912, Titanic departed from Southampton, England. The ship stopped briefly in France and Ireland before beginning its journey across the Atlantic toward New York City. More than 2,200 passengers and crew were on board. They came from every social class. Some were among the richest people in the world. Others were immigrants hoping to begin a new life in America. Despite their different backgrounds, everyone shared the same destination. Life aboard the ship was comfortable and exciting. Passengers enjoyed fine dining, live music, social gatherings, and breathtaking ocean views. Few imagined that danger was waiting ahead. The Iceberg. During the evening of April 14th, multiple ships warned Titanic about dangerous ice ahead. The warnings were received, but the ship continued traveling at nearly full speed. At 11:40 p.m., lookouts suddenly spotted an enormous iceberg directly ahead. The crew reacted immediately. They attempted to turn the ship while reversing the engines, but the iceberg was simply to close. The starboard side scraped against the ice. The impact appeared surprisingly small. Many passengers hardly noticed anything unusual. Yet below the waterline, several compartments had been torn open. Titanic had been designed to survive flooding in 4 compartments. Unfortunately, 6 compartments were now filling with icy seawater. The ship's fate had already been sealed. The final hours. At first, many passengers believed everything was under control. The crew began preparing the lifeboats. However, there was one major problem. Titanic carried lifeboats for only about half of the people on board. Many early lifeboats left only partially filled because passengers didn't realize how serious the situation was. As the bow slowly sank, panic spread throughout the ship. The musicians continued playing in an effort to keep everyone calm. Crew members helped women and children into the remaining lifeboats. Within just a few hours, the enormous ship stood almost vertically above the freezing Atlantic Ocean. Then, shortly after 2:20 a.m. on April 15, 1912, Titanic disappeared beneath the surface. Hundreds of people were left in water cold enough to cause death within minutes. Rescue and legacy. The nearby passenger ship Carpathia received Titanic's distress signals and rushed toward the disaster. But by the time it arrived, the ship had already sunk. Carpathia rescued more than 700 survivors from the lifeboats. Sadly, over 1,500 people lost their lives. The tragedy shocked the entire world. Following the disaster, major international safety rules were introduced. Ships were required to carry enough lifeboats for everyone. Continuous radio communication became mandatory. International iceberg patrols were also also established to monitor dangerous ice in the North Atlantic. The Titanic changed maritime safety forever. The legacy of Titanic. More than a century later, Titanic remains one of history's most unforgettable stories. It reminds us that even the greatest achievements of human engineering are never completely beyond the power of nature. The disaster was not caused by a single mistake. Instead, it resulted from a chain of decisions, unexpected circumstances, and human overconfidence. Today, the wreck of Titanic rests nearly 3,800 meters beneath the Atlantic Ocean, serving as a silent reminder of those who lost their lives. Its story continues to inspire books, documentaries, scientific research, and films around the world. Perhaps the greatest lesson Titanic teaches us is this: technology can achieve incredible things, but wisdom, preparation, and respect for nature are just as important. Thank you for watching.